What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You're stuck with me today. Mike's traveling. Nick is busy. And so here I am. What's going on, Mel? Why is there a bull in that intro video, but no bear? Is there no bear? That's because the market just always ends up going up, right? What do you need a bear in there for when the market always goes up? I'm so glad Michael picked that up. I told everybody last time that when you see this intro, that means you're stuck with me today. Or you're stuck with me that day. And I'm glad Michael picked that up. Because I played my signature intro. What's going on, Michael? What's going on, Desire? Yeah, we'll make this an interesting day. Regardless, Bank of England just came out a few minutes ago and announced that they will schedule their first gilt sale operation on November 1st. So they're pushing all of their gilt sales back. Just going through headlines real quick because they all just came out right now. What's going on, Mark? And yeah, so if you're wondering why the pound and the market the last 5 minutes took a little dipsy daisies, that's why. But now they're recovering because who cares? Taking a look at the dollar. We're going to start with the dollar because guess what? You're stuck with me today, and I am a Forex and commodities guy. So we're going to start with the dollar. And then we'll head on into equities for you equities guys. Looking at the dollar, really hasn't moved since this morning. I talked about it this morning. I expected more of a muted day today. Kind of sitting sideways in an interesting range here. So you look at the 4 hour, and the 4 hour is sitting at highs around 112,500. 4 hour lows just sitting right around 111,800. And it's an interesting area here because you have, a previous area of contention and consolidation and, rejection. So I figured we'd be muted today. Didn't really have any significant headlines coming out to drive us one way or the other. And so looking at price action, if we break 112,500, this previous area here, and pardon me if I'm speaking slower today. My mouth is a little sore today. So if I take a second, it's because I need to give my mouth a little resty rest. But looking at the dollar, yeah. So I mean, look, 112,500. If we break that, it seems like we would have then confirmed a higher low here, and we're going to continue on up, breaking through this resistance here, back up towards 114,500. That looks like a nice Dixie top. Oh, Q Mark with the Dixie top. You know what, Mark? Honestly, it could be a temporary top here. I could see that. I mean, look, you have temporary bearish market structure. And so if we break on the flip side, this 111,800 lows, pretty clean price action to head back down towards 110, 111 area. So that's why I think that this area here we're sitting in is really the make or break for the Dixie on where we want to go. Which way is the momentum going to take us? Buyers above 112,500 or sellers below 111,800? We'll see, but I figured muted day today. So again, really no clear direction on that. With that, looking at the rates, and again, the rates are actually at a very interesting point here as well. If you take a look at this 397 area, this is the area we have had almost a double top here, struggled here, breaking through. Friday had a nice close above this 397. And now today, or I guess yesterday and today, we're finding some nice support there, sitting above 4%. And so you can expect that as long as the structure maintains 397, then we're going to get a nice rise towards, I think the first area I keep an eye on is 417. 417 going in the higher time frames, an interesting area to keep an eye on. That was the low. That was this pivot low here back in 1998, and that was just really a battleground between really just this whole entire area in here. So 417 to 427 is, you know, if we continue this bullish march up, is where we're heading to next. Whenever you get to it, inversion of US 10-year and US 3 incoming. I'll look at that in 1 second. 10-year looking kind of threatening. Yeah, it really is. And look, if the 10-year is going to continue its march up here, I mean, we're really just consolidating again at these highs, at the breakout of these highs, consolidating here, accumulating, ready to boom, right? You squeeze up. So look at where SPY QQQ was when 10-year was at this level just a few days ago when CPI hit. All right, let's take a look. CPI was what, last Thursday, 13th? Yeah. I mean, look, so SPY was down at 357. We're now at 370. And then the rates really hasn't moved. And I mean, so that makes sense, right? I mean, this, and Mike talks about it all the time, is you really only have to be threatened by the rates if they move up pretty drastically and dramatically. Like, you know, when you get these really fast marches here, these really fast paced moves. Right now we're just consolidating. So I think that it makes sense that the market is getting a little bit of a squeeze out of it, because we've kind of had this pause here in the movement of the rates, the velocity of it. And so it really seems like it's accumulating here. And then once we're creating these higher lows, and once these rates decide they really want to squeeze out, is when we get that potential peak in the market. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe it'll consolidate and then break to the downside. You never know. But just keeping an eye on this 397 area as an indicator of bullish or bearish movement. US 10-year. How do I even do this? US. Is that it? There it is. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, I remember talking about this last time. Actually, it was a while ago, I think. But yeah, look at that. It's actually breaking a very important area here. And I know inversion, it's coming right up towards it. Yeah. So, I mean, it's getting bloody out there. So, we'll see. I mean, if this weekly closes, honestly, we have a lot of time left in the week, but if this weekly closes below all these wicks here, it's looking dangerous. Interesting chart there. Looking at the equities, the good old market here, really fucked up. I did it wrong. Really fucked up market here we got going on. But it doesn't really, none of it really makes sense to me, to be honest. But you know, we'll continue to trade it. Continue to trade price action here. God, so sorry, I'm reading my headlines. U.S. President Biden says 4 million more people apply for student debt relief. Anyway, so I figured this would be a tough area for the market here. I mean, this 3750 was a really strong battleground back in June and July of this year, and that's where we had left to then rally on out of here back up towards 4,300, and now we're on the backside of it. Had a rejection here. We're now running into that resistance as well, running into this lower high trend line, and so it's a battleground right now. And so taking a look at market action here as well. I mean, 3,700, where we more or less bottomed out today on this retest, it seems to be holding as well. So it's almost in the same boat right now as the Dixie, right? I really feel like whichever way it decides to get thrown below 3,700 or above 37, we'll say 37.75, whichever way it decides to go, I feel like it's going to be the extended move for the time being, because it's at such a important inflection point, and we're now just kind of setting this big consolidated range here, and so we're running into the resistance here, potentially heading back down to the lows of 3,600. 3,600 is putting up a fight here, but I was looking at the double bottom with Borderline this morning, and you have an interesting double bottom here with the market. You have this nice liquidity grab, and you have some divergence sitting here on the RSI, so we're getting a nice squeeze out of it. So this could potentially set us up if we can reclaim and close above 37.60 area. If we can close above, then I think we're set up for like maybe a 3,900 squeeze, given that we have some nice divergence, a nice breakout here. But again, we'll have to see it confirm a close above this zone here, because it's just too strong to anticipate that happening. So looking at gold here, CCL looking good. I'll take a look at CCL. If you guys want me to look at any, technicals, and like, I'm not really a stock guy, but I can give you some technical outlook. So I'll take a look at CCL in a second. But looking at gold here, gold, really muted action all around the markets today, but ended up snagging a nice, almost $6,000 on gold today, even with this doji day here. It was actually a fairly easy day. You can expect, so you look at this 1660 area, right? Strong area of resistance. We had closed Friday pretty strongly below. Yesterday we had come up, retested it, and closed very weak bullish candle. And today we had one more retest of it. Now we're consolidating in this range here before we potentially head down lower. And so the trade idea today was, so if you look at this overall, the last, 2 weeks of price action, we've been just maintaining this really nice descending trend line here. And yesterday we had topped out at the trend line. Overnight during pre-London session, we had topped out on this trend line here. So you had a nice move down towards the end of yesterday. Then this morning over Asian session and pre-London session, we had a nice retracement of that move here and topped out at that trend line and 1660. And so this morning we were sitting right here at this consolidation, and it felt like we were ready to kind of bounce lower and roll over today. So I was looking for sells on any pops. And I did have an early entry, so my initial entry was right around here. And then as we came up to retest this trend line here, I took a second entry. And so I was sitting averaged out at 1655, and ended up taking the whole position off at these lows in here. So it ended up working out really well. Caught this entire move down this morning. And as far as overall market structure goes here, stuck in this same consolidation as the Dixie and the market. So it's going to be whether we break 1644 or we hold above 1660 first. I'm kind of leaning more towards the downside, because any move up has been getting weaker and weaker and knocked back down, and now we're coiling in here to potentially heading back lower, back down towards 1620 lows. So market metals are feeling a little heavy right here. Oil was the play of the day today. I had a great call out on the shorts. Didn't take it because I was wrapped up in the choppy gold today and choppy pound yen that I'm still sitting in. But looking at oil here, if you looked at Friday told the story. I talked about this 87 level we closed below. That's going to dictate the directional bias for the coming few days here. And yesterday we had retested it on the backside and confirmed that we're staying below. And so today, if you look at intraday, over London session, pre-London session, we had a nice retest of that backside of 87 and fell back below. And so I was looking at this overall support that we had gotten knocked below, where, you know, we've seen to be rejected in the last few days here. Came below, retested the backside of it, and I was calling out the short here for a nice move down. I don't remember exactly what I said. I think I said like 82.50 or something. Regardless, it was a really nice short on the retest here, and gave you really no hesitation or drawdown there. And now it's marching back. Russia launched a series of attacks on Ukraine's energy facilities. So there you go. 36 seconds ago just came out. And so now we're getting a nice squeeze in oil because we have potential, I guess we have potential supply off the market, right? If they're attacking their energy facilities. Regardless, the geopolitical conflict there, we're getting a little bit of a squeeze in oil here, but we'll see. Again, you want to keep an eye on that 87 level, because this could potentially be one of those. Okay, so look, we broke market structure here, right? So we now created a new swing high. We're now pulling back and creating potentially a new swing low, right? Or I guess a higher low. And so we're now sitting at this 61.8% retracement. And so we could get a nice continuation out of here with oil if it wants to gather up some momentum here. We'll see. UVXC trying to collapse off. Yeah, I mean, UVXC, right? You have these nice lows that's putting in this nice trend line. We seem to be having some problem here at 13, creating some type of divergence here. So I could see us, breaking this 1230 low and having a nice big sell-off here in UVXC. October 19th. Yeah, so the VIX expiration is tomorrow. That's a good point, Mal. So no, I think you're right, Mal. I think it's tomorrow, October 19th. So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on as well. But you're right. I mean, looking at it here, it's getting like knocked down. Kind of feels like heavy here. So once we break this 1219, could have a nice push down and a nice day trade in it. So UVXC is looking nice. CCL looking good, huh? Yeah. I mean, look, if CCL can break back above its 2020 lows here, right, and it can break above this resistance here and then confirm a higher low, then maybe you take it for like a little bit of a swing. But I mean, there's really, like Borlam said, there's no reason to own it right now. It hasn't confirmed anything yet, right? It's still doing its like dance, right? It's dance down here, so maybe you get a little bit of a squeeze, but it's probably getting knocked right back down based on their debt. No reason. Yeah, again, I don't even know what the fuck like goes on with their debt or any fundamentals with them. So, but yeah, I mean, look, technically speaking, if I could draw a freaking line, if you break above here and confirm a bounce here, then yeah, maybe pick some up for a little bit of a swing play. Everyone loves a nice cruise. Yeah, I've been on one cruise and it was fun. But futures expire tomorrow and put call today, apparently. Okay. So I'll be keeping an eye on tomorrow then with the futures. AR, what company is AR? Antera Resources Corporation. Interesting. Very strong chart here. Let's take a look at the monthly chart. Yeah, looks really, I like this chart. Weekly chart's looking good. I would have liked it. I would have liked to pick it up maybe like right here, you know? Because we're doing a nice bullish flag here. Finding a base. So I think we get a nice swing up. Swing on out of here. It would have been nice to buy it there. But, I mean, really? This damn fucking... So looking at the daily here, though, I mean, look, you have the line that it's willing to accept, right? I mean, 2870 is an area that investors are willing to hold it above, and if it drops below that, everyone's dumping it. Watch, but right now, I'd be picking it up on any dip buys. You know, I mean, it's looking really good. It's very strong. Bull flagging right now on the higher time frames. Monthly cup and handle. So we're forming a handle now. So this, I think this has a lot of potential to break out. So that's a really good chart. Good one. That's a good call out right there. I think it has a lot of potential. What's going on, Chris? Good to see you, man. T is finally getting itself together. Oh, it would not be a show if we did not talk about AT&T or Meta. So let's take a look at AT&T. I mean, sure. I don't know anything about their debt or anything. And I'm pretty sure they have a lot of debt if I'm not wrong. But again, ignore my debt talk here. But technically speaking, if I were to invest in AT&T, and again, I don't know the fundamentals on it, but this is actually a very decent area to take a stab at it. I mean, higher time frames, monthly and weekly. This has been just the line in the sand for AT&T here. More debt than equity, so not very attractive, I guess, on that aspect. So, again, technically speaking, because Mal's the freaking fundamental expert, so I wouldn't touch it if there's more debt than equity. But technically speaking, this is a great area to get a bounce off of. And if you want to trade technicals on it and think you can get a nice bounce and pop off of it, be my guess, and get a little pop out of it. But considering their fundamentals are just in the shit, I can't figure out how to use this damn button. But it's just, whatever. The fundamentals are in the shitter. So look, I wouldn't own it, but I would potentially have a little fun off this level here. But if it drops 14, it's dead. It's dead. It's done. It's gone to the hell. But interesting area here. And Q Meta, yeah. Look, monthly chart showing a really nice area here for Meta. Not gonna lie. I mean, this whole area here had a nice. I mean, it's sold off 65% from the highs here. And it's at actually a very strong level here. So, Mark, I mean, look, it has some room to go still. But this is an interesting area to take a stab. Now, I wouldn't just randomly take a stab. I mean, I'd like to see some type of higher low being formed because we're still making bearish structure. But hey, if we break 140 and then create a higher low and base here and then continue on up, I'd take a stab to look for a squeeze and get a nice potential entry out of it. But that's too tough to want to swing trade this right now. So it's just way too bearish. My call out in Discord earlier is up over 1% with zero drawdown. That's the best kind of call out. Zero drawdown. NQTRT random chart, just because of the crazy move Turkey is doing compared to the rest of the world. You'd never think just last month they were triggering circuit breakers. NQTRT. NASDAQ Turkey index. What the shit is this? Is this like the is this the turkey index? The hell, I don't even, what am I looking at? This is pretty crazy actually. Damn. The size of these candles compared to like the ADR. Like these are tiny candles and you get these like massive like candles. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. But yeah, we had a couple news events today. We had industrial production. We had home builder confidence. I mean, home builder competence. I wonder if I could pull this up. Yeah, I think you can see it. Look at this freaking chart here. Okay. Yep. Great. Adjustable height desk. Home builder confidence crashed to 38. Big miss, but home buyer confidence is just still way lower. So it has a lot of catching up to do. I think it has a lot more to go. I mean, if you look at last time, it had some catching up to do. You just saw a crater here, and so I think we could start seeing the home builder confidence crater here soon. But interesting one on that one. Industrial production came out, rose pretty high in September. Manufacturing side higher than expected in September. Capacity utilization rose more than expected in September. This is the highest utilization rate since March 2008. So really, I mean, look, we're not seeing really a slowdown yet. You know, we're seeing it in some places, but we're not really seeing an overall slowdown yet. So not really good for the Fed as far as their rate hikes and how great that's doing. Twitter locks employee stock accounts in anticipation of deal. Interesting. But yeah. ES popping above VWAPs, huh? Is it now? Oh, yeah, look at that. ES is now back above VWAP. What's the 50% range of the day? Let's find that out. 50% range of the day is going to be pretty important here. 37.38. I mean, that's where you've seen like, typically it's where you find like the point of control here. And so 37.38. We're now above VWAP, above 50% of the day here. So okay, could get a little nice squeeze here in the market. I like the 4 hour. I mean, market, I think, could get a little bit more of a squeeze out of here, especially if the rates kind of chill the way they're doing it. IWM is strong. Bounce to the pre to 2022 all-time high. Is it? Let's take a look at IWM. Yeah, IWM. You know, it's actually, I mean, I mean, look, tech's the weakest right now, obviously, but SPY's catching up to the IWM. But it's obviously still stronger. IWM broke through 2022, 2020 all-time high earlier. 2020. High. I must be hearing you wrong on that one. Oh, pre-2020. Got it. Yeah, so right here, 2018. Yeah, 2018 high. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, so, I mean, shit. Could get more of a squeeze here in the market. It's like a pretty important pivot zone here in the IWM. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Has led to some decent rejections here. So going to see how we play out. If we close above 176 and continue this continuation, should get a nice squeeze out of it. 180s. Maybe to 190. tip is flattening out compared to TLT. It makes sense with inflation expectations increasing a bit last week. More sticky. Yeah, tip's flattening out a lot more than TLT. But, you know, every time we've had a move outside of the consolidation, right? It's flattened out here. Had a nice move. Flattened out here. Had a nice move. So maybe we're getting ready for a nice move on the tip again. Who knows? Euro USD still chilling below parity here. Kind of stuck in the zone. I don't really expect much out of it, honestly. Did you take some good painkillers after the show? You sound different. Yeah, I did. I don't have it down here. Hydrocodone is my painkiller of choice right now. So it's got me all jacked up. And my mouth doesn't really hurt right now, so we're good. But yeah. This is an area we're kind of running into. I can't even get back to the date where I had it marked off. Back in 2002, we had this prior consolidation rejection here that we're running into right now, this blue zone. That's where we rejected before we had this dip down back in September. And so now we're coming back up on the backside of it, potentially creating another lower high on this trend line to head lower, and which will kind of go in line if we get that Dixie breakout. So yeah, Euro USD potentially coming into a top here. Not what Mark wants to hear, I'm sure. Oh, USD yen, I forgot to talk about. Had a little bit of a flash crash overnight at 5 a.m. People are saying that the yen's doing a little bit of side intervention without really telling the market. And you can kind of see it across the market on the 22nd when they initially did the intervention, right here. And then today, this little supposedly intervention right now. And somebody asked them, it's like, hey, have you been intervening since the 22nd? And he didn't want to make a comment. And so I feel like this morning, 5 a.m. was a little bit of an intervention here, and you can see it just keeps failing and failing and failing, and it's not working. They're all talk. Obviously, it's not working, and so USD yen continuing through, and we're now at what levels are we at now? Let's take a look. Actually, we're just breaking through these 1998 levels. We're now hitting 1990 levels here. Broke there's pretty important pivot point here. So we're just, the yen is, how do I say it? The yen's in this Maybe I did that too long. I'll get the hang of it. The yen's in the shitter. Oh, man. But, oh, yeah. How could I forget about Bitcoin? Bitcoin ain't doing shit. Just, sitting here. And again, something I talk about is SPY getting a little bit of a rally out of here. But Bitcoin not moving at all. So don't really trust this SPY bounce if the risk on assets are not going with it. Bitcoin did break the downtrend on the 1 week this week. Yeah, it did. Benjamin's been selling treasuries to fund those interventions. Yeah, they're selling U.S. bonds. That's how they're... Right. Right, exactly. Selling the U.S. bonds, which is why we're getting those that rate spike. Exactly. I mean, that's all they have to sell. But yeah, I mean, no, but like, point being is it's not working, right? And so we'll see what's in store for them. Nothing good. Crazy wick when SPY on the 5-minute. Alrighty. SPY 5-minute. Ah, a nice rejection wick. Whoa, yeah, 1 minute. Someone's having some fun there. It's a nice wick. What's the DAX doing? DAX is actually breaking through this pivot point here, which is where the IWM is at now. Hang Seng, fuck the Hang Seng. FTSE is a little lagging, but the DAX is really leading the way here. So overseas market doing decent. That's weird. I don't have that wick. That's weird because I have that wick, so I don't know. I don't have it in the ES, so I don't know. Maybe it's, yeah, I don't have it in the ES. Look at the DAX in a shorter time frame. Yeah, dude, this DAX. Yeah, DAX is potentially breaking out here. Oh, that's looking like something similar. Like if you look at the SPY, I guess I have it drawn on the ES here. If you look at the ES, it's looking like it's something similar to this move right here, where we're just testing structure before we puke again. Looking at the DAX is now breaking through this structure here, so we'll see if it holds. If it holds and starts rallying out of here, could have a really nice squeeze. If it breaks through 12,700, then I think it pukes again and comes back down. But let's see, anything else? ECB should start rolling off ECB bond holding soon. Okay. Well, that's really it for me. I don't have much else to talk about. We'll do one last sweep through. Dixie still consolidating here. ES still sitting at VWAP here, sitting at the 50% mark of the day. So who knows? ES kind of just chilling. Gold. Everything's just kind of really chilling right now. Oil, although we had this nice pop off of that Russia news, it's now falling off a little bit. So we'll see if we retrace this move. Most likely we retrace this move here. We end up back down towards 82. Nat gas falling off from that news. I don't know what that news was, something else. Nat gas had a nice dip today at 11. Was there Nat gas news at 11? No, I don't know what that was. But Nat gas actually broke structure here. And we're now heading lower, so I'd expect at least 540 to come into play first. That's a great drawing right there. You see that? This 540, 550 area, going to be the first area of interest. Then looking at the longer time frame here, back from 2020 to 2021 to 2022, it seems like we want to come down and retest $5. So I think $5 is in store here for the nat gas, and then maybe we get a rally off of that. Hopefully Mike got out of Boyle. I hope he did. I don't know what he's doing with Boyle. I hope he got out. Honestly, I would have gotten out a while ago. I mean, look at this freaking nice head and shoulders here. Once I saw this forming, it was heading back down, man. This would have been a great short. It's beautiful chart to short. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with Boyle. I'm sure he's out, but we have a cold winter coming, but we are ramping harder than most years in U.S. supply. Oh yeah, did you see that the right before the election, they're going to release 15 million barrels from the SPR just because they want to try to buy some of the votes. So, yeah. Great job. Great job. So glad. That's going to make a huge difference. All they're doing is buying votes at this point. And that's what the student loan debt relief is as well. But whatever. It is what it is. They should really rename it to Strategic Midterm Reserve. Honestly, they should. People were saying, yeah, they're going to drain like the rest of the 400 million barrels the next 3 weeks ahead of election. But they came out with 15 million barrels. So, but yeah, so we're seeing a down day in oil. So we'll see, but I don't think that makes much of a difference, to be honest. 15 million barrels, whatever. The only thing is OPEC, although they agreed to do 2 million barrels per day production cut, won't make a difference either. So they're unable to control the market at this point as well. So kind of just do its thing right now. But I don't really have anything else to cover. Yes, shown above UOP. So we'll see if we get a rally. If the ES breaks through this like 37.45, then I think we get a nice rally to the highs here. Could have a nice move towards 37.60. But we'll see. I'm going to leave it at that. I actually somehow managed to make this go 50 minutes today. I could not have done it without you lovely people in the chat. So I appreciate the help. Mal, Bornlam, Mark, Michael, Chris, everybody in the chat. I appreciate it. Again, you're probably going to have just me tomorrow. Thursday, I fly out for my honeymoon. So Wednesday and tomorrow you'll have me by myself tomorrow, and then I don't know what we'll do Thursday and Friday, or we don't do Friday, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know in Discord. Bostic forgot to get in, so we needed to fill the gap this morning. Yeah, I saw that. We literally filled the gap to the T and then bounced, and so had to get Bostic in first. It's like, wait, don't go without me. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a fun show hanging out with you guys. I will be on tomorrow morning and for the show. So bring the popcorn, bring the beer, and we'll chat again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, guys. I'll see you.